you singing, or they see you singing. So keep your computer's on mute, but your voice is singing loudly.
Here we go. Are you
away.
ready, everybody? I want to see your mouths moving and singing and dancing.
Look at Miss Robin.
Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol LaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zirot Rikudim, Havana Risha, Rash, 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 Havana Risha, Rash, Rosh, Rosh, Havana Risha, Rosh, 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 Bara Ashanim. Purim Day, what a happy holiday. We make noise with our toys, sing and dance and play. Stand round go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Can't you hear the groggers? I can hear them. Here go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Bara Ashanim. Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol LaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmirot Rikudim. Here go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Here go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Here go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. Bara Ashanim. I'm going to Shushan, I'm going to the fair to see Queen Vashti. I heard she may not be there. Oh, rumble to the bottom and rumble to the top. Turn around and turn around and stop. I'm going to Shushan, I'm going to the town to see King Achashverosh, the king who wears a crown. Oh, rumble to the bottom and rumble to the top. Turn around and turn around and stop. I'm going to Shushan, I'm going to the town to see Mordechai. I hope he'll be around. Oh, rumble to the bottom and rumble to the top. Turn around and turn around and turn around and stop.
Hey, Chaz.
Yeah.
You know what I think people could do when you get to the rumble part? They can rumble with their hands.
Of course they can.
Look at my square, and you can go rumble to the bottom like this on the bottom, and then rumble to the top, and then turn around and turn around and turn around and stop.
All right. Do you know how to do that? You know how to stop? All right. Here, let's try it now. I'm going to Shushan, I'm going to the fair to see Queen Esther with a flower in her hair.
Get your rumbles ready.
Rumble to the bottom and rumble to the top. Turn around and turn around and turn around and stop.
Oh, you guys are so good.
Oh, I'm going to Shushan, I'm going to the town to see Haman. I hope he's not around. Oh, boo and boo to the top. Turn around and turn around and turn. Oh, good turning around. I see you. And now I'm going to Shushan. I'm going to the town to see Queen Esther, the queen who wears a crown. Oh, rumble to the bottom and rumble to the top. Here we go. Turn around and turn around and turn around. Turn around and 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 stop.
Wow, we have some great listeners out there, Hazenstein. You guys really
Absolutely
seem to know the
fantastic.
Purim story well, and you do your motions so excitedly. I'm really excited to see what you guys are able to do. Can everybody see Rabbi Vogel's picture? Let me see. Can you, Alicia? Can you spotlight Rabbi Vogel for just a moment? Because I think everyone should see what Rabbi Vogel is wearing. Oh my gosh, Rabbi Vogel is a mouse.
Purim Sameach, everybody! It's so nice to see you all! Happy Purim to you!
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Alicia. So sweet to be able to see everyone looking like this. So I see that there are so many wonderful costumes. Believe it or not, before we even start the Purim story, we wanted to show you guys a really special thing that's coming up in a few weeks. Raise your hand if you like cars. Do you like playing with cars at school ever? I know a lot of you do. So I want you to see this because this is a movie that's going to show you all about how you can be a car driver, and it's going to be awesome. Let me scroll back to the top so that you guys can see, and we are going to say, let's go watch this. But hang on one second, I forgot to share my sound. Make sure I'm doing this properly. I'm going to get a quick new share here, share the sound. And here we go. So watch this. Three, two, one. Here it goes. You guys can see the part that says Aliyah Grand Prix. That's the thing for a huge race that's going. So look what's going to happen. It's spinning. It's getting ready. It's so exciting. The wheels are going round and round like the wheels on the bus. Wow. Could you guys see all those cool cars? Did you see those? They're going to be awesome. So we can't wait for the May when you guys get to build the cars yourself and race them. It's going to be amazing. But now, are you guys ready to hear the Purim story? Tell me if you've got a grogger there. Do you have a Rashan, a grogger? Ready to, oh, good. Now you know when to use it. That's the important part. We're only going to use it when we say the word name of that mean old man. If I said Queen Vashti, do we shake our groggers? If I said Queen Esther, do we shake our groggers? If I said King Ahasuerus, do we sing our groggers? No. If you want to be able to shake your groggers, I have to say the name of Haman. Good, you guys. Good, you guys. I'm so impressed. All right, so ready for him. He doesn't come into the story till a little bit, so I'm going to get my part of my screen ready. And some of you, I know many of you have a bingo card that we sent you, and you're going to be able to play along for bingo for us. Alicia, if you'll keep me posted in the chat if someone gets bingo so that we know who's there first, because I'm not going to be able to see. But I'm going to put up every time we say something on the bingo card, I'm going to put the picture up on the screen. And it's going to be happening a lot. So you will see many, many, many different pictures coming up a lot of times. If you see a bingo picture on the screen, look for that picture on your bingo card. And then you can put a little cover on that space. And if you get 5 in a row, or 5 up and down, or 5 diagonally, you get bingo. And the first person who gets bingo can actually win a prize. So I think we are ready to roll with this. Let's get going. I'm going to get the story up on the screen. We'll see the last part of the video. We're going to go here. Ready? Here we go. Because our story takes place in the ancient city of Shushan, the biggest one in Persia. The ruler of Persia was a man named King Ahasuerus. Ahasuerus was, like I like to say, not the brightest crayon in the box, but he was good at one thing. He made big parties. One day, King Ahasuerus decided to throw the biggest party ever. He made a feast that lasted for 6 whole months. That's longer than some of your siblings have been alive. Everyone in the kingdom came to eat, drink, and have a great time. Now, Ahasuerus wasn't the only one in his family who knew how to throw a party. His wife, Queen Vashti, knew how to party with the best of them. Her husband was busy hanging out with the guys. Vashti was busy doing a girls-only banquet. And her party was really cool because she knew how to have a good time. Maybe that's why King Ahasuerus called for Queen Vashti to come down and bring her to the palace. She was supposed to show up wearing her royal crown and who knows what else. But Vashti was having such a good time, she didn't want to stop her party and come see the king. She sent a message back saying that she refused to show up. Now today, when a woman stands up like Vashti did, we would applaud her and say, "You go, girl." But this was ancient Persia, and the rules for what women could and couldn't do were different back then. If you'd said no to the king, even if the king was your husband, you could be in big, big trouble. So when King Ahasuerus found out that Vashti had refused his order to come to the palace, he was really mad. And I don't just mean plain old mad. I mean mad like when you don't listen to your brother, sister, and don't come down for dinner mad. He was one angry king. Ahasuerus yelled at his advisors, "I am so angry with Vashti. What should I do with this disobedient queen of mine?" They said to him, "You Majesty, you need to make an example of Vashti. If you don't punish her right away, everyone will think that they can disobey the order. You need to write this up right away and say that Vashti is banished, sent away from the kingdom forever. You can seal it with your royal ring, and we will make sure it happens right away." And that's exactly what happened. Vashti was banished from the kingdom, never to be heard from again. But when Queen Vashti left, suddenly King Ahasuerus got lonely. His advisors could see that he was super sad, and they said to him, "Your Majesty, you need a new queen. Let's have a contest to see who's going to be your new wife. We'll tell everyone in the whole land to send us the best, smartest, kindest, and most beautiful woman. You can choose the one that's best, and she'll get to be your new wife." And that made the king very happy. Everyone in the kingdom heard about the king's new contest, including a man named Mordecai, the hero of our story. He had an awesome niece, or sometimes people say it's a cousin, named Hadassah. He took care of her whole life, just like the way a mommy and daddy take care of you. He told her she should enter the king's contest. She was a little nervous, but she trusted Mordecai. "Just remember one thing," he told her. "It would be amazing for a Jewish girl like you to become queen, but if you tell the king you're a Jew, things could get complicated. King Ahasuerus doesn't know the Jews very well. So even as amazing as you are, he might choose someone else."
Ryan, we have our first bingo.
Oh, wow. Who is it?
Jason and Tova.
All right. Congratulations, Jason and Tova. That means you guys are up for one of our first prizes. Congratulations. That's wonderful. All right. Tell me when we get our second bingo and I'll go back to the story. Okay, Alicia? All right. All you have to do now is use your Persian name, Esther, instead of your Jewish name, Hadassah. "Okay, Uncle Mordecai," Hadassah said, "I won't say anything. It'll be our little Jewish secret." So Esther went to Shushan and went to the king's palace. She stood out among all the women because she was so kind, funny, smart, compassionate, and beautiful. She was everything a Temple Aliyah nursery school kid should be. She caught the king's eye and won the admiration of everyone who saw her. Hadassah, now Esther, won in a landslide. And when she became the queen, there was a celebration in the palace. The king gave a special Queen Esther feast, and everyone loved her and Ahasuerus. Then two of the king's guards, though, didn't think the king was such a great guy. Their names were Bigtan and Teresh. It was their job to guard the king, but guarding him didn't mean they had to like him. In fact, they couldn't stand him. As they were leaving work one night and heading home, Bigtan and Teresh started talking to each other about doing something mean to the king. They just had to figure out how to do it. Should they use poison? Should they make it look like an accident?
We have
Or should they?
bingo.
We do?
Brookie and Seth have bingo.
All right. So that's two. Alicia, would you do me a favor and just note who gets bingo so that we can make sure?
Absolutely.
That would be awesome along the way. Fabulous. So as the two of them were talking out loud, they didn't even notice that Mordecai, you remember our hero Mordecai? They didn't notice he was sitting by the palace gates as they blabbed on about what they were planning to do. Well, Mordecai knew what he had to do. He told Queen Esther what he had overheard, and she told the royal guard. They put out a search party for Bigtan and Teresh, and they were arrested in minutes. They got the bad guys faster. They got the bad guys faster than you can say insurrection. The best news for the king was that he never even heard that there was a plot to hurt him. It was all recorded in the royal diary, but Ahasuerus wasn't much of a reader. Unfortunately, what was good news for the king was a bit of a bummer for Mordecai. But that's because he subscribed to the Temple Aliyah ECE way of doing things. He didn't act nice because he was going to get a reward. He acted nice because that's just the right thing to do. Maybe if King Ahasuerus had known what Mordecai had done, he would have hired Mordecai to work in the palace. But instead, he promoted Haman, who was a smart guy, but not a really nice guy. You know what was the first rule he made when he was in the chief advisor to the king? He made everyone who walked past him kneel and bow down. Haman loved watching everybody bow in front of him.
Bingo.
But there was
two of them.
All right.
So from, let's see here. Hold on.
I have a bingo.
The Grills,
Okay.
the Russos, the Steins,
won.
and Miss Robin, and Brittany.
All right.
Sassy.
Bingo.
You got a lot of bingo.
This is fabulous. So he made everyone bow for him.
Bingo.
But there was one man who would not bow before him at all, and that was Mordecai. Why do you disobey the king's rules? They would ask him. Just bow to the man. What's the big deal? Mordecai said, I am a Jewish person, and we do not bow down to another human being. Nobody is so important to bow down to him. No person is, no matter how powerful he thinks he might be. Well, Mordecai's refusal made Haman very mad. It made him furious. He came to be so upset at Mordecai that he wanted to do all kinds of bad things to him. If there was a group of people that weren't going to bow down to him, he was going to make sure that they could not live in this kingdom. So Haman put two pots in front of him. In one pot, he put 30 slips of paper, each with a number from 1 to 30 on it. And in the other one, he put 12 slips of paper from the calendar, each one with a month written on it. Then he drew lots that we call Purim, one slip from each pot. The first
we
number
have a bingo.
we do another bingo, Shmoo? That's awesome. I'll keep going till more people get bingo. The first one had the number 13, and the second one had the month of Adar. The date was set. The Jews would have to leave the kingdom forever on the 13th day of the month of Adar. He even had the king draw up a royal proclamation. When Mordecai heard the news, he was so sad. He put on his special feeling sad clothes and went to the town wailing until he came to the gate of the palace. He had the royal messenger send a note to Queen Esther telling her that she had to go to her husband, the king, and beg him to be nice to everybody, including her. Esther was so scared when she got Mordecai's note, but she didn't know what to do. She wanted to save her people, but on the other hand, she knew that people couldn't just show up and talk with the king. That you needed the king to give you permission by showing you his golden scepter. If you showed up without permission, the king could punish you on the spot. Isn't there another way to solve this problem, Uncle Mordecai? She asked. I'm afraid not, my dear Esther, Mordecai answered. I know that when we started this whole thing, I told you had to keep things a secret, but now everything has changed. You need to go and tell him exactly who you are and who your people are. This is your big moment, Esther. You have to be extra brave, but I know you can do it. I believe in you. Who knows? Maybe you became queen for just this reason. So Esther made a quick plan. First, she asked Mordecai to tell all the Jewish people not to eat or drink for 3 days in support of what she was going to do. And at the end of those 3 days, she asked the king and Haman to a special banquet that she was going to make. Now, as you might imagine, Esther had a hard time enjoying herself at the feast. The king noticed and said, Esther, my dear, you seem so upset. What do you need in order to make you feel better? Whatever you need, I will make it happen. If you want anything, even up to half the kingdom, I can do it. I only need one thing, Esther said. I need you and Haman to come to another feast tomorrow. This one will be even better than the one today is. The king was so happy. He loved the idea of having a feast the next day. But maybe he was too excited because when he went to bed, he couldn't go to sleep. Have you ever had that where you've got something big the next day and you're so excited you can't go to sleep? So he called the servants in to read the royal diary to him. It was so boring that when people read it to him, it helped him fall asleep. But wouldn't you know it, they decided to read to him the story of how Mordecai was saved the king's life by foiling the plot of Bigtan and Teresh. The king was so surprised. Wait, you mean that 2 of my guards were trying to hurt me and Mordecai saved me? That's right, your majesty, they said. Well, what did we ever do to give him a reward? I don't think we did anything, your highness. Nothing? We have to fix that right now, they said. But it's the middle of the night. They said, no matter, fetch me my advisor. And who was that advisor? None other than Haman. So the king said to him, there is a man in my kingdom that I want to honor for everything he did for me. Tell me what I should do for such a person. Now, as he thought, the funny part was, Haman didn't think the king was talking about Mordecai. He thought he was talking about him. So he got a little greedy. You want to honor a man, your highness? I say give him the best clothes, put him on a royal horse, one from your stables, and put a crown on his head to make him look like he's the king. And that horse should go around carrying him around in a parade through the whole city saying, this is what we do for someone the king wants to be nice to. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately for Haman, that wasn't what the king had in mind. He said, we should do all that for Mordecai. So he said, I love your suggestion we should take him on a parade. You're my most trusted servant. You should be the one to lead Mordecai around. Well, that made Haman super angry. The king was going to honor Mordecai? That's awful. So that's the person who wouldn't even bow down. How could you possibly do such a thing? He even went home and told his wife, Zeresh, who said he had never felt so dumb in his whole life. There were only 2 things to make him feel better. He had a plan to take care of Mordecai and the Jews, and he still had Esther's feast for him the next day, and at least Mordecai wouldn't be there. He came in and everyone said, Esther, this feast is amazing. I am so excited. Tell me, you've been so nice to me. Let me know if I can do something nice for you. And that was Esther's big moment. She got all her courage ready in her heart and said, Your Majesty, I have only one wish, one thing I want. I need you to save me and my people. King Ahasuerus, I must tell you, I am a Jew. I never told you before because we never talked about it, but now my people need me and they need help. Now Esther began to feel more confident. She said, looked right at King Ahasuerus and said, there's a man in your kingdom who has decreed that all the Jews have to get out of Persia. That means he wants to hurt my people and he wants to hurt me. When Ahasuerus heard that Esther was saying, he got super angry. Who is this man? Who dared to make such an order? How dare he? One last time, Esther knew what she had to do. She looked right at the man across the table and said, Haman, boo! Over there is the one who wanted to wipe us all out and make us all leave. The king said, Haman, boo! How could you betray me like this? To think I trusted you and you were trying to wipe out all the Jews in my kingdom. That's not all, Your Highness. He even had a place to take care of Mordecai, the one who saved your life. And here's the last one, guys. The king said, if that's the case, then I hereby order you, Haman, boo, to be taken to that special punishing room. And instead of the Jews and Mordecai being wiped out and made to leave, I'm going to take you out instead. And so Queen Esther and her uncle Mordecai saved the day and the Jewish people. We remember this year every day on Purim. We remember it that if Esther hadn't been so brave and so proud of who she was, we might not have survived. So every year the Jews have a special day to remember when Esther and Mordecai teamed up to save the Jewish people. They said it would be on the 14th day of Adar. We would have a special feast and happiness. To make sure that everything was good, the Jews said there were 3 special commandments we would all need to do. On the 14th of Adar, every Jew should have a joyous feast. We should give friends and food and treats to our friends called Mishloach Manot. And we should make sure to give tzedakah to the poor that we would call Matanot LaEvyonim. The end. Wow, you guys were so good at shaking your groggers round and round.
I got 24 bingos.
That's fabulous. So it sounds like there's so many great prizes. Let's have Chazan Stein jump in and give us a song or two to sing us out, and then we'll all say Happy Purim to you.
What a great miracle! Yay, the Jewish people were free! Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael
Put your arms up in the air.
Am Yisrael Chai, 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 Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Utu etzav etufar.
That's a bit too far.
Dabru davar v'lo yaku. Utu etzav etufar. Dabru davar v'lo yaku. Ki Immanuel. Utu etzav etufar. Dabru davar v'lo yaku. Ki Immanuel. Havanarisha rash rash rash. Havanarisha rash rash rash. Havanarisha rash rash rash. Bara Ashanim. Purim day, what a happy holiday. We wear masks, drink from flasks, sing and dance and play.
Oh.
There go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. There go the groggers, rush, rush, rush. There go the groggers, rush, rush, rush on this holiday. Chag Purim, Chag Gadol Hayeladim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmirot Rikudim, Havana Risha. Yeah, that's right, Havana Risha. Havana Risha, rush, 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 Barashani.
Wow. So I hope that you guys get to have a crazy, noisy, festive, but most importantly, a happy, happy, happy Purim. From Rabbi Vogel, Chazenstein, from Robin, from me, make sure you guys, at least those adults, get to unmute and say hello. We can't wait to see you all back at school.